see some familiar faces out there. Good to see you all. Good to be back here at the Duda Camp. My name is Gabe Murillo. I am here to do two things. One is to introduce the Cross-Examination Debate Association. How many people have heard of CEDA before? A little bit? Okay, cool. And also to introduce my university, which is the University of Iowa, and to talk about college debate with everyone. How many people are thinking about college debate? That's so awesome. I don't know if you can see this big smile I have right now. That makes me really happy. So that's awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is introduce the Cross-Examination Debate Association, or CEDA. I am lucky to have been elected the first vice president of the Cross-Examination Debate Association, and I love it. It's a really great organization, and what it does is it basically governs most of college policy debate. So it gives out awards, CEDA sweepstake points, and runs CEDA Nationals, which is the largest nationals tournament for policy debate, and the greatest in my opinion, but I won't get into that. CEDA organization schools, I believe there are about, how many schools? 100? About 110 schools are CEDA members. And the coolest thing about CEDA members, we did a study this year and found that CEDA membership schools give over $1 million in debate scholarships. All right? How cool is that? That's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. So that means that if you were to start debating at a CEDA school, there would be the option or the possibility for scholarships. Isn't that great? How many people want a scholarship for college? Yeah, I do. You know, I still
more people than raise their hands.
Yeah.
I saw some.
So we're just here as an organization to kind of introduce you to CEDA and college policy debate. One thing that I'll say before we start introducing our individual institutions is that if you have any questions about college debate, if you want to know the director of any program, if you want to know if a school has a program, if you need someone to write you a letter of recommendation for a program, you can contact me, all right? And you will get my contact information from Derek, I believe. We've sent that in, so any of you can contact me, even if you don't even know where Iowa is, which I didn't really until a couple months ago. Even if you have no interest in the University of Iowa, even if you don't want to do CEDA debate, but you have questions about college, I can be a resource for you. So remember that even though you have a limited number of CEDA schools represented here, if you want access to any of those institutions, you want to get shot right to the front of someone's attention, you can contact me. And I will write you a letter of recommendation and make sure to do everything I can so that you get in contact with the schools that you're interested in going to, okay? All right, so I'm going to turn over right now to the president of the Cross-Examination Debate Association, Dr. Mike Davis.
Like Gabe said, I'm Mike Davis. I'm the president of the Cross-Examination Debate Association. It's actually my second time doing it. I don't know how I got tricked into doing it a second time, but I did. I am the director of debate at James Madison University. I'm about to start my 10th year there. Does anybody know what state James Madison University is in? Virginia. There you go. So it's in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, so it's Western Virginia, not West Virginia, but Western Virginia. If you've ever driven on the East Coast and you've driven up and down Interstate 81, you've probably driven by us. We have one of the larger debate teams in the country. About 5 years ago, we received a fairly generous budget increase from our provost, which allowed us to really grow the team. We had about 10 members on the team, and next year we'll probably be closer to 40. So we have a big team. We have people with lots of different experience levels, lots of different styles. And there's a couple of things to think about when you're applying to colleges and also specifically when you're applying to JMU. One is I think you need to contact folks early. The nice part about JMU is if you're interested in JMU and you contact me and tell me that you're interested, I can send an email to our admissions folks and they move you way up on the admissions list. So if you're somebody who is borderline and I put you on the list, you'll definitely get in. If you're a little bit further below the borderline I put you on, you still have a very good chance. Also, if you contact me early, we have some out-of-state scholarship opportunities I think they're now up to $3,000 a year, and then they go up every year that you maintain good grades. So the earlier you contact me, the earlier I can put you on that list. They tell us we only get one a year, but next year we got 4, just because I kept asking. So if I know you're out there and I know you're interested, that's great because I can put you on the list and get you out there early. And I think that's true probably of any university you'd be interested in. Reach out early because every university is a little bit different about the application process, the scholarship process. And I think the sooner the directors and coaches know you're out there, the better. And then ask lots of questions. You want to make sure that if you're going to be in college, that you're picking a program that's right for you. So make sure you ask every question you can. I am most excited when I get an email from a student who says, I'm interested in debating at JMU. Here are my 15 questions that I would like you to answer. I'm very excited by that because it shows that you're not just picking the first school you see, but you're trying to find the right school for you. So that's my advice for you. And if you, like Gabe said, if you have any questions or want any advice, please feel free to reach out to me. I think if you want to debate in college and you don't want to debate for JMU, that's still awesome. And I can still put you in contact with the right people at those universities. So, Esther next, or Mike?
Yeah, that's
why I'm standing right here.
Am I okay if I stand right here? Is this the place? I'm Dr. Michael Hester, and I am the Dean of the Honors College at the University of West Georgia. I wouldn't ask geographically if everyone knows where that's at. It's going to ask a slightly trickier question, which is, does anyone know the state adjacent to Georgia that would be closest to the University of West Georgia?
Texas.
That's the first answer in, and technically meets the answer. Yes.
Alabama.
Yes, what's your name?
Sadie.
Sadie, I have something for you. It's in the shape of a wolf head because it's from the University of West Georgia, and it's from the Honors College, but it's just a flash drive of a few gigs, so there you go. Sorry. So I'll match the offer of sharing with you. In fact, any of us will. We just meet people that debate in college. So I've got a bunch of brochures about the University of West Georgia. I'll save those for the people who want to learn about our school. So a lot of the stuff you heard earlier about scholarship stuff, there's specifics in there. Instead, I'm going to give you quick information about myself that I think can make everyone raise their hand to the question, are you interested in college debate? Because not everyone did. So here's my attempt to get 100% unanimity on that question next time. One, I was the first member of my family to go to college and graduate from college, and it was because of debate. Second is, I'm still the only member of my family that's been west of Montana, including the only person in my family who's ever been to California because of debate, right? Raise your hand if you're sitting next to your partner or someone from your squad. How many more hands? Okay, right, see how this works? I have an easy question for you. Do you like them? Wait, no. Don't, that should not be a hand-raising question because somebody learned some information they didn't. In your head, the answer should either be yes or no. Here's the trick. Either way, you should consider college debate. If the answer is yes, then you have someone that you enjoy spending time with that in some weird way connects with you that maybe other people at your school don't. They appreciate you in a way that other people don't. Or perhaps you're just super popular and who cares about the rest of us, right? If the answer, however, is no, here's your chance to get away from them. Those people are going to go to college nearby. Where I went to high school, I said I was the only member of my family to graduate. And I wasn't the only member to get a high school diploma. I'm like, hey, my family goes to high school, right? That sort of thing. My friend crew in high school all went within like 30 miles of where I lived if they went to college, right? Other people left. I noticed that the ones that left, I'll say changed. I would say in a positive way. If you go back home 15 years after where you grew up, the people there seem as if they've been, it's almost like Jurassic Park style, encased in amber. They're literally no different than the person they were then, which is very cute at 16 and becomes much less cute at 26, 27. Right? So that idea of going off to school, college debate afforded me the opportunity. Granted, for me, it was only 130 miles. Born and raised in Georgia, I left what my mom thought was going to Mars to go to West Georgia. Your school doesn't have to be far away to still be away, right? Doing that, making that decision, is going to make all sorts of changes in your life. And there are people that are going to pay for it. Scholarships are something you're always going to hear from us because we know that gets you in the door. But every school that you go to debate is going to afford you resource opportunities, right? The scholarship wasn't what paid for me to go to California. It was a debate trip happening there, which meant I got to be in Los Angeles for New Year's for several years of my college career, which no one I grew up with was getting to do that. That's not the side of the tracks that I grew up on. So that was a huge deal that I gained all sorts of positive and negative experiences from, right? It changed my life, and they could potentially change yours. So that's what I would argue is the reason why you should do college debate. I think everyone needs to raise their hand for that. Until someone tells you no, until it's all done, like, no, you're such a horrible debater, no one wants to give you any money ever, please go find something else to do. Until you've heard that over and over again, you should be searching for the college that fits what you want to do, that does college debate, that offers resources to hardworking, hopefully smart, hardworking individuals. That's my argument for what you should be doing. And you wasted your time coming here, so you should ask some questions of us later to figure out better answers. And at the very end, I've got like 70 flyers I can give you. I've even got one more wolf head, but you're going to have to come special to get that.
Hey, we have so much in common. Also, first person to go to college, I'm Will Mosley Jensen, the director of debate at Trinity University. Yeah, thank you. It's my first year there too, actually, so I've been trying to not to muck things up too bad. But they tell me I'm doing okay. I just want to talk a little bit about Trinity's a small school, and I want to tell you that you should look at lots of different schools when you're applying to college, etc. It's a liberal arts school. They might tell you some differences about that. But we have scholarships. We can offer a few scholarships to different people. They do financial aid packages. So there's lots of different opportunities for you as you go about searching at colleges and universities around Texas and in the rest of the country, West Georgia and Liberty. There are a lot of different places to look at. But I would echo Mike Davis's comments too, that you can contact us early. We have web pages. We have email addresses. And I love hearing from students who they contact me. They're like, I'm a junior in high school. I'm interested in college debate. Do I have questions? And then they list a bunch of different questions. It's always great to hear from you all. And with admissions too, we can probably help get you in the door a little bit. That's definitely true at Trinity. So even if you're worried about it, you're like, I don't know if I've got the grades, I don't know if I have the test scores, I don't know if I'm eligible for scholarships. You're your own advocate. You're your best advocate for getting into colleges and speaking with directors of debate at different universities. So Trinity is one university you should look at, and I would also be happy to answer questions. WMosleyJ is my email address, easily Googleable. You can probably all use the Google machine adequately at this point, hopefully, in your debate careers. If not, I'm sure you're learning how to research. But we'd be happy to hear from any of you all for colleges, universities. What's the college experience like? Why debate in college? It's very important. Lots of travel opportunities. I guess go to California too, etc. So, okay. All right. Nick Bryan's up next.
My name is Nick Bryan, and I'm the Assistant Director of Debate at Liberty University. I've been there for now 7 years. And Liberty University is a great university in terms of what it has done for debate. And we've been around since basically the foundation of the university and have been the project of the university's founder. So we've been blessed with a large team budget that we can use to travel one of the largest squads in the country. Typically we have about 30 or more debaters that travel frequently with our team. The team travels basically every weekend throughout the season. Our students travel probably 2 weekends in a row, but our kids are continually traveling. And our university provides tons of resources in terms of scholarships for not just debate scholarships for debaters, but scholarships the university provides for its students to provide different opportunities. The team provides laptops to each student that participates on the team that you can use your entire year throughout the team. And I think a lot of universities have started to do that now with the transition to paperless debate, so we're not alone in that regard. But we also have one of the largest squad rooms in the country, which kind of goes to the school's dedication to debate. So we will be around for a long time and provide lots of different opportunities for our students. I'll be happy to answer questions when we get to that phase, but I kind of wanted to tell you about some of the opportunities that we provide.
Where is Liberty?
We're in South Central Virginia. I should have probably started with that. We kind of compete with James Madison fairly frequently in terms of squad size, and we have a nice, healthy rivalry between James Madison, George Mason. But debate in Virginia at the college level is one of the healthiest regions in the country. Turn it over to Armand.
Hello, my name is Armand Bravelance. I'm from Ithaca, New York. I'm the head policy debate coach at Cornell University. Raise your hand if anyone's heard of Cornell. Okay, good. It's actually part of a larger umbrella organization that does various kinds of speech and debate. We definitely have a healthy squad. It's not a very large size. I would say it's a more moderate size for the policy squad, about 15 debaters or so. And one thing that's distinct from about Cornell relative to the other coaches' institutions here is we don't give out scholarships. So, but the thing is that we do give out Cornell does give out generous need-based scholarships. They're just not particularly geared towards debate. So once you do get into Cornell, if you do get in, the resources are there to travel you to tournaments. We do have our own squad room. We're very interested in policy debate and so forth. And we do have a couple debaters on the squad that are currently there on a need-based scholarship, and one of them just graduated and is going to Columbia Law School. So there's opportunities once you get into Cornell, and the advice that I would give to everybody is to not hesitate to apply, and in fact, apply to many places. Be courageous and try out applications at all kinds of places, because once you get a sort of foot in the door in one institution or one possibility, or at least just go through the paces of knowing how a certain application process works, then that can open up further things down the line. And this is the case whether you're applying as an undergraduate, whether you're applying later for grad school or law school, or for a job. If you're the type of person who isn't shy and doesn't hesitate and applies to a lot of different places, good things can happen. So, thanks.
All right, I realized I forgot to talk about the University of Iowa at all when I talked, so my boss will be pretty mad about that. Yeah, so I'm gonna real quick talk about Iowa and then open up any questions that anyone has. So the University of Iowa is the A. Craig Baird Debate Forum at the University of Iowa, and it's an awesome institution. Did you all know that at the beginning of college policy debate, men and women were in separate debate? Like men and women didn't debate each other or with each other, anything like that? Did you all know about that? Yeah. Did you know, isn't that crazy to think about? The University of Iowa was the first team in the country to have women and men debate together. And the woman who debated for the University of Iowa was one of the best debaters the University of Iowa has ever had. But that's just kind of what the University of Iowa is about. The University of Iowa debate program is about adapting and changing what debate is and who has access to it. So from the first university to have mixed gender debate team to now a university that will change its focus to focus on urban debate students and prioritizing urban debate students for scholarships and access to our university. So our mission of our debate team now is to move towards focusing to make sure that students like you all get options and opportunities that maybe you wouldn't have gotten in the past. All right, so what I would encourage you to do is, even if you don't think that you're a student who would be recruited heavily by a university, please contact us at the University of Iowa and contact me, because we believe that increasing the representation of urban debate league students in college is something that everyone should get behind, and it's the primary mission of our organization, all right? So, we would love to have all of you apply to the University of Iowa. We would love to have all of you like our Facebook page. Oh yeah, I went there. We'd also like all of you to like the CETA Facebook page and stay up to date. Know what's happening in college debate. Follow along with things. Like right now we're choosing our topic just to walk down the road. So that's pretty important. And all that is happening here. So stay kind of in tune with college debate and contact us if you have any questions. Does anyone have any questions now for any of the folks here? Yeah.
Cornell?
Yes, Armand. Hi. What's your name?
Glenda.
Glenda. Hello.
Hello. I just wanted to ask, because I'm thinking of majoring in physics, but I still want to be part of debate in college. So, would that work?
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter which particular college you would apply to as part of Cornell. Mm-hmm. Whatever study you want to pursue, you can also be on the debate team. Mm-hmm. So we have people on the debate team who are engineers, people who are in arts and sciences, anybody is welcome.
Thank you.
And that's true at every university. Debate is interdisciplinary. That means you can major in whatever you want. My top team last year at West Georgia was a computer science major and foreign language major. So it doesn't, all of us are going to be able to answer that question. That's the cool thing about debate is you may not do it forever, because if you're a musician, like if you were a just amazing player of some musical instrument, and you did debate at the school, at some point your success, how am I going to be famous and be on Time Magazine or whatever you think is important these days, that could diverge. I had a student that was a chemistry major that ended up getting published in science journals about his SO2 research, which debaters talk about, but not at that level. And so it made sense for him to stop doing debate his junior, senior year and go somewhere else. Get in the door with debate resources. And to build on something Dave said, the beauty of the choice right now with regards to urban debate. So for a minute, I'm speaking to those of you that are both members of something called urban debate, but I'm also talking to those who identify as non-white. You have a cool choice right now, which is there are certain schools, mostly public universities, are ones that don't have a whole lot of minority representation on their campus. And all of their mission statements will tell you in their strategic plan, we want to encourage minority participation and recruit the optimal minority student and all that sort of stuff. And they do. So they're beginning to develop cash resources for those individuals. And then there are other schools where they're not really focused on doing that, probably because they already have that. Like, for example, at West Georgia, even though our mission statement talks about recruiting to everyone, 34% of our student population is black. So trying to get the next black student into West Georgia and going to classes isn't something that the administration is super scared of. It's not going to happen. They've been showing that for a while now, right? So there's not that focus, but you also have a choice. So you can either choose a school that already has that representation, at which point you don't have to freak out about going off to a college where no one looks like me or talks my language or whatever your particular minority status is, but rather can be comfortable where you're at. Or you can go to school where there aren't going to be as many folks that look like you, but they are paying you good money, right? That's a no-lose situation as far as I can see in terms of going to college. Maybe I'm missing something, but that seems to cover both bases pretty well, right?
We had a debater who actually worked for NASA in the summers. She was a physics major who debated for us, worked for NASA in the summer, and when she finished she did 2 summers, when she finished her internship the second summer, they asked, do you have other debaters who could do this? Because the research skills that she learned in debate were way beyond anybody else who they had had in that position before, because those people were good in the lab, which she was, but she was also really good outside of the lab as well.
Yeah, other questions?
Dr. Messer mentioned that he travels to California frequently. Where else do debate tournaments happen?
Everywhere.
Where do you
All
want
the
to go?
time. They're never stopping. Yeah.
Chicago, up and down the East Coast, there's a lot of tournaments. West Coast, the middle of the country.
Well, this place right here, this is like D3. In our, we speak in districts. Like I'm District 6, so we're D6. And there's D5s and D4s, and obviously all the way up to 8. So anywhere you live, there's some debate happening, but y'all are lucky. Raise your hand if you reside in the state of Texas. All of you do. So you're in D3 right now, which is, there's so much debate that happens in this area at the college level that there's opportunities, not just travel happening, but because there's so many tournaments, because there's so many schools that do it. So there's all sorts of schools you can apply to and get into. I got to travel a bunch. It wasn't just being the first to go to California. It was, I know what an airport is like, and we were joking on the way here, I can pack the heck out of a van. Like, I'll Tetris that, because debate teaches you these weird skills. Some of them y'all won't learn, like there's the copy machine, yada, yada, these days. But debate has so many cool things that it offers that you don't get unless you grew up in a weird office space or have,
And so you can go experience food like Boston. Like I like seafood, grew up in Wyoming. We don't have seafood. There's no water in Wyoming. So yeah, it's like you can go to Boston or San Francisco, go to some Texas restaurants, yeah, see the world a little bit. Yeah, it's so different. And all of the universities here and most universities you apply to will travel to Boston, to North Carolina, to LA.
And they're paying for that. Like the number of schools is in the vast majority that covers your travel. You're working for the university. You're a performer, right? And so all of that we're talking about, it's on someone else's dime.
That's the most common question I get from students is, how much will debate cost me? JMU, in most places, it won't cost you anything, right? We pay for your hotel, we pay for your entry fees, we pay for your food.
And Lord Liberty gives you a computer. Like, what do you want? What do you want? I now want to go to debate.
All right, I think we can do a couple more questions, maybe one more.
Yeah, what's your name?
And my question is regarding researching for schools and scholarships. What is the best way to start looking for colleges to attend or scholarships to apply for?
Well, I don't mean to overburden his inbox, but there was a guy in this room that said he would answer any question if I helped him. That dude is clearly one of them. He showed you this website. There's a couple of, this one has a forums that you can go to and see some of the conversations we have about stuff, gives you college updates. To be honest, I think anyone in this room would answer email questions. It seems like a good third of the room is wearing Houston Debate shirts, and that looks like a similar shirt. Yeah, exactly. Two people that have Houston Debate shirts. Have done a great job. Thank you very much. If you could for a second remove the chip that they replaced in the back of your head, I want to talk about something other than Houston Debate. Any of these folks, I promise, we want people. I don't need everyone to come to West Georgia. I haven't met some of you, and I bet if I did, I wouldn't want you to come to West Georgia. Right? Let's be honest with how that works. And you wouldn't want to come to West Georgia either. That's cool, though. I want you someplace else, because if you're there, that justifies me going to that tournament that y'all are going to be at. Oh, sorry. Debate and friendly competition, you know. So.
Also, this website right here is a full list. Now, in all fairness, this list is updated in 2014. There are some schools on here who are like, maybe they have had a debate team happen in the last couple of years. But this is a pretty good list of all of the schools that have CETA or NDT style debate programs. And if you click on one of them, we'll see if this is up to date. Yep, so this list is, if you search Jim Hansen College Debate Programs, and then you click the first link, here's a new page, climbthemountain.us/schools/colleges.
I think he's been updating it too.
Yeah,
I just got
has
an
he?
email. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect.
At least intended.
And then this one, you can also check the Farley schools, but we strongly suggest and prefer you check the NDT and CETA policy.
What's Marley?
Yeah, all of these. It's a thing that's it's nothing. Also, all of these are great resources actually. L. Loudon's tips for students on choosing forensics for college is a great. L. Loudon is awesome. You can tell by this picture right here. The classic AC Slater backwards chair. Hard to get better than that. But this is awesome. I've read this when I started recruiting professionally. I read this to kind of get an idea of, this basically guides a lot of how I recruit and the way that I talk to students. So that's a good resource. This right here has, and then if you click on Arizona State, this is all up to date. So that's the director, Adam Simons, Isaac Dunn. You can contact either of them. If you want to go to Arizona State, I'd say Simons first, but each their own. Then you have websites, team information, our scholarships available, etc. You go through here. Bard College, they still have a debate team, yep. Baylor, etc. Binghamton. You can go down the list. But that's an awesome question. And this is a great resource for y'all to check out college debate programs and just college debate stuff in general.
And don't be afraid to just email someone out of the blue.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's just an email. Be your own advocate, right?
Yeah. I promise, if they're not responding, it has nothing to do with you. They're just one of those people that never respond to their email. But
Or they're in a tournament.
Potentially. Don't let them make excuses. Internet. Everybody's got to be better. I'm marveled, by the way. I've been looking the whole time. Nobody's used, this is the first time I've been around this many students that no one's been on their phone. The only time a phone came out was when that really smart gentleman back there took pictures of the website. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. So thank you very much. That was weird to be in a room with this many people on your phones. Yeah, they are.
All right, so hopefully you have a bunch of resources now. I think that there's another group coming in, so we're going to say goodbye. Thank you all very much for having us.